I don't know why anyone's fridge needs to look that pretty. I wouldn't even think some of these things are possible, but they are happening. It makes no sense. Like, I don't know, am I missing something here? Let's just all try to think a little bit before hitting the buy button.
It's giving bougie as hell. It's giving mind your business. It's giving it's my money. It's giving I ain't got no kids.
Hi everyone, this is Anam from My Inspired Home. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm talking to you about de-influencing. It's a new term that's come out and it talks about things you don't need, but you might think you do because you constantly see them on Instagram and TikTok and you see influencers promoting them. Am I a part of the influencer business? I'm gonna say yes, I do get called an influencer. I've never loved the term, to be honest, but I don't make the words, I just use them. So yes, I can give you some insights into the influencing business, maybe help you understand why people promote certain products so much and maybe how you can save your money. So for those of you who may not know, this is how influencing works. There are multiple revenue streams for influencers. So these are people that are making content on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok. I can tell you about the home accounts. So one thing is to share product links. You share a link with your audience. When they use that link to buy something, then the influencer gets a small commission. Like if I post an Instagram story where I didn't share the link to something new that people might not have seen me use before, I can guarantee you I wake up with a ton of DMs asking for a link for that. So I've just learned to always provide a link now to people, right? It's one of those things which is like, it's beneficial for people too. However, there's obviously that danger of like overconsumption that comes into this because some people are apparently very easily influenced. So anyways, there's basically commissions that come to influencers through these sales. As an influencer myself and from knowing people in the community, I can tell you that a lot of them put so much hard work into their page and they really take care in talking about their recommendations to their audience. But of course, whenever there's a big industry like that that's so popular, there are people out there that want to take advantage of that, right? They want a piece of the pie. Now, do I share products? Yes, I do. I really try my best to share products that I genuinely like, that have a lot of good reviews and that I've genuinely used as well. And if you follow me on Instagram, you probably see me using the same stuff over and over and then also maybe linking to the same product again and again because it gives me anxiety to like buy too much stuff and like to find space for it in my small house. Somebody watching me or my Instagram might be like, what is this girl talking about? Like she consumes a lot herself. Sure, I can get that. You know, there's different levels. Like I might see someone and think, oh my gosh, this person consumes a lot of stuff. But then when I talk to them, I realize they think that they're just being very mindful and whatnot. So everybody has their own idea of, you know, what they need, what they don't need, what's appropriate. Now, for a fairly small influencer like me, it's not my bread and butter, but for other influencers that have huge accounts, affiliate links are a big revenue stream, okay? So that's one of the reasons why you might see them promoting a lot of products. Some people also share stuff that they haven't used, but they've just heard it's good, you know, just to kind of get that commission because it really adds up and turns out people love to shop. Secondly, you may have noticed this about home influencers, but they move quite a bit, okay? So they will buy a fixer-upper, they'll do DIY projects in there, they'll make every room beautiful. They really do a good job renovating that kind of a fixer-upper. And then they sell it and move into another fixer-upper and just start the process all over again. I mean, I can tell you in my own house, I've done most of the spaces that I wanted to do. I've already done them once. A couple of them I've done twice, but how much more am I gonna do, right? It's like if I wanna keep making more home content, I gotta move out of here, which inshallah I will eventually, but as of right now, I'm happy and I'm not gonna just do that for that purpose. But I probably would if it was my main business because those are the kind of changes that help you make lots of content and then, you know, keep your socials interesting. And so of course, during that renovation process, influencers are buying more products, you know, teaching people how to use certain power tools, how to save money by thrifting or buying something at a deal. During this time, they are working with brands that are willing to sponsor some of their projects, right? So it all adds up very nicely, especially because when they are ready to move to their next house, they can also get a good sale price. There's a lot of people out there that don't want to do any kind of handiwork and they're happy to pay up for a house that was newly renovated. Another example that might be a bit easier to understand, think about fashion influencers, right? For a normal person, they're not going to change that many clothes or like buy that many new clothes all the time. I know some people do, they have that kind of a shopping addiction, but not everybody does. But for fashion influencers, it's their job to constantly get new clothes for every season and share them because that's what keeps the ball rolling. And like I said, people really want those links, so it all works out. So if you somehow have been feeling bad about not being able to change homes so often or like swap out stuff in your house, don't feel bad. Basically, the point I'm trying to make is that it's the job of an influencer. It's like they work in the marketing department of various companies, and they're actually a real life person that's using this stuff in their real life. Compare this to, watching an ad on TV. They're paid actors. There could be like a mom and dad and a kid shown in a new home. So they're like literally acting, and those were the ads that we grew up watching. But now it's about incentivizing real families to organically share what they use. You get the idea, right? Don't get me wrong, influencer marketing being a multi-billion-dollar industry is actually quite genius if you think about it. I don't know about you, but if I see Mahira Khan promoting something, but then I see like a local influencer who I can relate to and who's like me promote something, I'm more likely to believe that local influencer rather than like a big celebrity. So this is why influencer marketing is so popular. There's other income streams too, but they're not relevant for this video. This consumerism, while people do seem to want it, is definitely also leading to overconsumption, which we don't need, right? And since I watch and follow people from the home space more closely, I can tell you examples of some items that you really don't need, but you might over time be maybe convinced that you do. I don't know, I hope not. But let's get into some examples so you can see what I mean. Let's start off with all the acrylic containers, whether they are food containers or just organizers of some sort. It's gone out of hand, okay? I'm sure you've seen some of these videos, but people are like decanting juice into these plastic bottles. They are decanting everything, okay? You take food out of its original packaging that you bought it in, and you've bought more acrylic stuff to transfer it to make your fridge look really pretty and aesthetic. First of all, it's literally not the same as the original packaging. So like if you buy juice from a store, the juice container has like a specialized, shiny kind of coating on the inside that prevents the food from going bad. They've got labels on the packaging that contain the best before date, that contain, nutritional information and stuff like that. So by you just decanting it and then just throwing out the package, it makes no sense. Like, I don't know, am I missing something here? It's just overcomplicating life. It's like double packaging. It's like creating extra plastic that we don't need in this world. Like that packaging already is packaging. That's probably not gonna get recycled, So by buying another container, you're just creating extra plastic that we don't need in this world. And really, like, I don't know why anyone's fridge needs to look that pretty. Like, it should look clean, yes. If it can look pretty, sure, but it should never be something that you try for. Like the fridge door is supposed to remain closed, and I don't get it. The other type of acrylic containers are the ones in the pantry. So, okay, I can get behind the ones that you use for like atta, maida, chini, besan, what else? Dale maybe, right? I like to put in pasta too. Okay, so, there's some room there. But then there's like all these containers being used to store candy and like junk food. I don't know why those need to be decanted and like set up in a pantry like that. Now, a very interesting thing here is that I was scrolling one day on TikTok and somebody had commented saying, I love these videos. Growing up, I never had anything in my pantry. So she said, I always looked at people with pantries full of snacks and whatnot as like, wow, they're rich, they've got their life together. And she says, now that I can afford it, these videos give me life and I go and buy this kind of stuff and I like to organize my pantry this way. So I was like, that's very interesting. There's something, psychological happening there, I guess. Besides the fact that, of course, a lot of people are just trying to make things look aesthetic for the gram, okay? I think there's no denying that. But yeah, people sometimes do things for those reasons. Same kind of thing in the laundry room. It seems like people are decanting Tide and, Tide pods and stuff like that into these containers too, which I'm like, don't you want to kind of keep the packaging? Now, don't get me wrong, being organized is great. I personally love organization. On that note, there are sometimes containers that are actually like an organization genius. If you follow me on Instagram, you've seen me share my egg tray. So it's like a slanted egg tray. I have a vertical fridge, which I don't like, but it basically means that I need to use a lot of space vertically. So this egg tray has changed my life. I link it for people. I know a ton of you have got it and you all love it too. So, there are things like that that are actually useful. The other kind of container that I like are like the Lazy Susans. Those are actually genuinely helpful. You need to see what's practical for you and whatnot, but a lot of the stuff that's out there right now, we really don't need. Please please do not feel pressured to buy it. Okay, the next one is a DIY frame TV. Like, I don't know if you guys have seen these reels, but there are influencers out there telling people that they can make their regular TV look like a frame TV and then just place some vintage art on it and it'll look great. Several years back, I think Samsung came out with this frame TV. I don't know if other brands have it too. That frame TV looks like art. Apparently it's so seamless. It does not look like a TV at all. And if you ask someone to find that frame TV in a room, like they can't genuinely tell which one is a frame TV. So that's how good it's supposed to be originally. The TV has a matte screen, which is not reflective, which makes sense for a TV that's going to display art all day. And I get why some people would find a black TV ugly and they don't want to put it up, so they want to run some nice art on it, right? The other things that make frame TVs work well is that they run on low electricity all day. So they are able to display that artwork without taking up so much energy, right? Which with a regular TV, it's obviously not designed for that. And so playing art on it all day long, all night long, I guess too, it's not a smart move. Again, it just all comes down to the looks of it, which is fine to some extent, but I'm just afraid that people would try that kind of a DIY and then just be a bit disappointed that it doesn't look that great at the end. Next, I want to talk about these like weird ice cube trays that are out. I don't know if you guys have seen them, but there's ice cubes of all shapes and sizes. I don't know who would want to constantly have so much fun drinking their ice that they just can't have regular rectangular ice cubes, right? Like it could look nice at a kid's party or like some kind of a New Year's whatever, that kind of thing, but let's be honest, most of the time it's just gonna end up in the back of your drawer somewhere, taking up space in your kitchen, just going to waste. A not so pro tip: regular ice cube trays work just fine and you don't have to spend $15 to get them. It looks cute, but it's not something that you need at all. A lot of people fall very, very easily for cute things, and this is one of those things. And you know what, just want to say, don't fall for it. The other thing I want to talk about is the Tom Ford and Chanel coffee table books. And I get what people are trying to do with these books. So a lot of times on a coffee table, people will put a book down as like a rectangular item. It almost kind of looks like a tray, right? And then you can style it and stuff. So it looks nice. I have put books in the past too. I just picked out a book from my house that I thought went with the aesthetic. Like, I don't know why I would have to go out and spend money to buy like a Chanel or a Tom Ford book. I imagine those books have a lot of inspiring photos, like fashion and maybe homes. I don't know what they have, but they're really popular. On some level, these books are definitely supposed to show luxury because they're designer, but then because every other person has them, I just don't know what to think about them anymore. Like, I would hope that you put a book on the coffee table. Sure, it's for decorative purposes, but maybe make it a book that you like or that you want to talk about. If I genuinely like those brands or what was in those books, then sure, but I have a feeling a lot of people are just buying them because they're popular. Okay, as I started looking more into this, I saw that people are also DIYing Tom Ford books. So like going to the dollar store, getting construction paper, cutting it out, and then making a dupe of the designer book. And secondly, there's storage cases that look like the Tom Ford book, but you know, you can actually store your remote and stuff like that inside. I mean, maybe that one's a bit more practical, but do you see what I mean? Like, I really struggle with this. There's a lot of things we can keep talking about, but I'm gonna stop here today. I'm hoping that this was a bit insightful for you. You know, maybe this helps you understand why you might see so much product online being promoted. Let me know in the comments below if there's any products that you've seen that made you question your own life. Let's just all try to think a little bit before hitting the buy button, because we don't need more stuff in this world. And I just hate to see you lose money for things you don't need, you know? All right, I'm gonna stop talking now. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Make sure you are subscribed to my channel because I have lots of fun content planned. Until next time, bye.